think of Mandami's photo with the 93 World Trade Center bombing?
Yeah, no, it's a shame. Look, the Mandami thing is it's a disaster waiting to happen. We can't have a communist in charge of a great, supposedly free enterprise, kind of a representative city. So I think it's, if you have a communist mayor, I think it's going to be very tough for him and for the city.
Do you think he should have posted something like this so close to the election?
Oh, I think it's a shame that that particular man is endorsing him and very friendly with him. You can see there's a relationship.
Mr. President,
He blew up the World Trade Center, right?
And Mr. President,
Didn't the man you're talking about blow up the World Trade Center? And he's friends with Mandami?
Mr. President, sticking with New York City, you've talked about the Hudson River Tunnel, the infrastructure project. So you said that the funding has been terminated, but folks in New York have said that it's not terminated. So where does that stand?
Well, as of now, it's terminated, and that's up to me. And as of now, it's terminated, and it's terminated because the Democrats are so foolish what they've done to the country. I mean, we have the hottest country in the world. There's no country even close, and they just want to do this. There's nothing for them to do. All they have to do is just say, let everything continue. And I will say a lot of Democrats want this to get over.
So the administration right now is not sending funding?
Right now, there is no funding because it's up to me.
What is your response to the protest?
Who are you with?
I'm with the AP.
With AP?
What's your response to the protest over the weekend, the No Kings protest on Saturday?
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
And by the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Besides San Francisco, are there other cities you're actively looking at for the National Guard right now?
Yeah. What about it?
I'm just wondering if you care to comment on that.
Well, we've used the National Guard to be very successful in Memphis. You can see the numbers are falling like rocks. Washington, D.C., Chicago is getting better, even though we're going through a lot. We're trying to do it in a very nice way. I'm allowed, as you know, as president, like 50% of the presidents have used the Insurrection Act. You can use that. And everybody agrees you're allowed to use that, and there's no more court cases, there's no more anything. We're trying to do it in a nicer manner, but we can always use the Insurrection Act if we want. I mean, you take a look in the past, one in particular president used it 28 times during the course of our presidency. So we're allowed to do that. We thought we could do it in a very nice way. All we want to do is have safe cities. We're not looking for anything that would be spectacular other than crime-free become spectacular. We want to have great crime-free cities. So I'd be allowed to use, if I wanted, the Insurrection Act, and then all of this nonsense would go away. You have the absolute right. It's the strongest power a president has, and you have the absolute right to do it. We wanted to go this route, but we get sued every time you look at somebody. You look at somebody the wrong way and you end up getting sued. We just want no crime. We want to have crime-free cities. That's not a big, it's pretty common sense, I think, but that's all I want is crime-free cities. I campaigned on it. It's become, I think, even more successful than we thought because of the tremendous success that we had literally in 12 days in Washington, D.C., and it continues. Washington, D.C., we're so proud of it. People are eating in their restaurants. Restaurants are opening. All the stores and restaurants were closing. You couldn't walk down the street without being mugged or worse. And now it's a safe city. It's considered a very safe city. And it's safe because we took 1,700 people out of there and brought them back to where they came from. Yeah.
You said you're going to South Korea and that's to meet with China.
I am. That's right.
Can you tell us more about your goals for your trip to Asia? Where else you may be going?
I have a very good relationship with President Xi of China. We're having disputes on things. They're paying us a lot of money, tremendous amount of money in tariffs, and they'd probably like to have it be less, and we'll work on that, but they have to give us some things too. Right now, China's paying a tremendous amount of money in tariffs, like they've never paid before. They paid a lot during my first administration, my first term. Now they're paying an unbelievable amount of money to the United States. They probably can't pay that much. And I'm okay with that. We can lower that, but they have to do things for us too. It's no longer a one-way street.
What would you lower it to?
Depends. We'll have to see what they want. one of the penalties we have it because they're sending in fentanyl. We have a 20%, as you know, a 20% tariff on that. But they'd be paying about 157% tariff, which is, record-setting type tariff. I don't want them to do that. I want to help China. I'm not going to hurt China. But they have to give us things.
Sticking with China, Mr. President, on soybeans, are you confident that you'll
I
be
want
able
them to buy
deal?
soybeans. One of the things I want is China's going to buy soybeans. I want China to stop with the fentanyl. Very, normal things. I don't want them to play the rare earth game with us.
But you want them to, but do you think they will make a deal on soybeans?
I do believe, because otherwise I'm not going to make a deal. No, I want them to buy. Our farmers have been boycotted by China as a negotiating point. I don't want that. Our farmers are great, and in particular our soybean farmers, and I want them to start buying soybeans at least in the amount that they were buying before. And I believe they'll be able to do
But
that.
sticking with soybeans and Argentina, you're looking to do that deal with Argentina, the meal swap. So
With respect to beef?
are we expecting a beef deal?
I assume you're talking about beef. Yeah,
No,
to get beef prices down. The only price we have that's high is beef, and we'll get that down. And one of the things we're thinking about doing is beef from Argentina.
But my question is, what do you have to say to U.S. farmers who feel that the deal is benefiting Argentina more than it is them, as they are a top
Argentina's fighting for its life, young lady. You don't know anything about it. They're fighting for their life. Nothing's benefiting Argentina. They're fighting for their life. You understand what that means? They have no money. They have no anything. They're fighting so hard to survive. If I can help them survive in a free world, I happen to like the president of Argentina. I think he's trying to do the best he can, but don't make it sound like they're doing great. They are dying. All right? They're dying.
What do you mean by a beef deal, sir?
We would buy some beef from Argentina. If we do that, that will bring our beef prices down. Because our groceries are down, our energy prices are down. Well, I think we're going to have $2 gasoline pretty soon. We're getting close. And everything's down. The one thing that's kept up is beef. And if we buy some beef, now I'm not talking about that much from Argentina, it would help Argentina, which we consider a very good country, a very good ally in a place. Although I must tell you, if you take a look now, South America is turning. The South American countries are starting to turn very much toward us.
And for you
They're
guys
getting away
farmers-
from socialism, and you can go right down the pack. But they are starting to turn. It's pretty amazing.
May I ask you about Israel again? Do you feel that Israel was justified with striking what it did
Striking where?
in Gaza today and overnight?
I'd have to get back to you on that. I'd have to get back.
What is the next step?
Because we're going to be determined. All of that's is under consideration right now. It's under review.
Mr. President, on Harvard.
Who you with?
I'm with the Washington Post.
That's what I thought.
On Harvard, you said the other week that you had reached a deal, but we haven't heard anything. What's the holdup?
Well, we reached a concept of a deal, but it's pretty complicated because under this deal would be $500 million. They're going to open up trade schools, and I love the idea of trade and trade schools like Harvard. So, they get into like a vocational type school. And the one problem with it, it's very complicated. When do they start? How do they start? Who do they use? There's 1,000 different things, and we may just charge them a big fine, $500 million fine.
Mr. President,
And they won't do it again. And if they do, we'll have to just charge them another fine.
you haven't weighed in on the Virginia gubernatorial race that's in a few weeks. Do you plan to endorse with the lieutenant
Well,
governor?
I think the Republican candidate is very good, and I think she should win because the Democrat candidate's a disaster. So I haven't been too much involved in Virginia. I love the state. I did very well in the state. But I will tell you, I think the Republican candidate is excellent, and I think the Democrat candidate is a disaster.
So
I watched her in the debate. She couldn't answer the most basic question. And a big thing with that race and also the race in New Jersey is going to be energy. Both of the Democrats are going to drive the energy prices through the roof. Through the roof. Your energy is going to double and triple. If the Republican gets elected, your energy is going to be coming down by 70-80%. Thank you very much, everybody. Vote
Thank you, sir.
Republican.
Should your